Well, good evening. Welcome to another exciting, riveting episode of Love Not Fear. I'm
Yay!
Jack Cox, author of Love Not Fear. And my gorgeous co-host Annie Day is back from her trip. And she's
Yay!
written scrumptious books.
Your guide to feeling fabulous fast and orgasmic health.
And seeing as Andrew's not here,
Have you got his book handy? Oh,
I've just received that in the post.
wonderful. All you need is love. La 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 la.
And I will put them all down in the show notes.
Oh, you are an angel, Jack. Thank you.
I am pretty good, aren't I?
You are awesome.
Right.
That lovely grounding word that I'm so fond of.
Shall we talk a little bit about crystal healing?
Indeedy.
I've only made very, very brief notes because I know you've got a lot to say tonight.
That's such a change, Jack. Don't chatter your ears off about stuff all the time, obviously.
So what is it about crystals that make them so captivating? Is it their beauty, their color, their unique shapes, or the way they're formed in the earth?
And they're high vibrational like us.
Or is it something else?
Ooh.
It gives them that unexplainable quality that we can't ignore.
Indeed.
Crystals really have measurable power. So whether you've owned crystals or even if you never handled crystals, this show is for anyone who wants to learn more about the history of crystals, their use, and the science behind their energy. And we will be exploring ways that we can all use crystals in our everyday life.
Yay!
Now, if you're new to the channel, we make videos about ways to set ourselves free from the matrix by empowering people to live in love rather than fear, free from top-down power structures.
Yeah.
We've covered many interesting topics over the last 3 years or so, including natural healing modalities, ancient lost civilizations, metaphysics, and how we can build decentralized, loving political structures.
Yeah.
So please be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell so you can see more videos like this one.
Yay!
And so we can reach more people.
Yeah.
So what exactly are crystals and where do they come from? Let's take a look at the science of crystals and what makes them so powerful. As magma moves upwards towards the Earth's surface, it crystallizes to form young, hot, igneous rocks. The heat from these rocks drives groundwater towards the surface. As the water cools, ions precipitate out of the mineral crystals, such as quartz crystals, which are formed from silicon and oxygen, feldspar from potassium, aluminium, silicon, and oxygen, and galena from lead and sulfur. Many of these crystals have signature shapes, like a pointed quartz, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, and galena cubes. So what causes them to grow in these shapes? Part of the answer lies in their atoms. Every crystal's atoms are arranged in highly organized repetitive patterns. This pattern is the defining feature of a crystal, and it isn't restricted to minerals, sand, ice, sugar, chocolate.
Ooh.
Ceramics, metal, even DNA, and some liquids have crystalline structures.
They do.
Now, a well-known inventor and engineer, Nikola Tesla.
Oh, we love Nikola Tesla, don't we? He was such a smart man.
He famously said, in a crystal, we have clear evidence of the existence of a formative life principle.
Yeah.
And though we cannot understand the life of a crystal, it is nonetheless a living being. Like Tesla understood a few things, didn't he?
He was a very intelligent, very extraordinary man, wasn't he?
Tesla understood that everything is energy.
Yeah.
Everything on this earth has an energy that vibrates at its own unique frequency. And Tesla also said, if you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Yeah, spot on, isn't he? Absolutely spot on, Jack.
Absolutely brilliant guy. It's a shame most of his work got buried, but
yes, we know why that would be, don't we?
we know why. Yeah,
they didn't want us to have free energy, and they didn't want us to have all the healing modalities that he came up with as well. So,
yeah. Crystals have the ability to bend the Earth's magnetic field around themselves. There's a technical word for that. I can't remember what it is. I don't know.
No, neither can I. It's kind of buzzing around my head, but I can't quite think what it is.
and when they're put under pressure, they even emit light.
Yes,
all over the world, ancient civilizations have been aware that crystals hold a special sort of magnetic power.
Yeah.
A special sort of magical power.
Oh, yeah. We love magical stuff, don't we?
Now, I don't mean the sort of magic from fantasy stories.
No.
I mean real life practice of shifting energy in order to create a positive
Absolutely.
Excuse me. Some call this metaphysics. Others call it the law of attraction. It goes by many different names. Albert Einstein, the other great scientist and inventor, once said, everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way.
Smart man again.
Smart man. Ancient cultures all over the world use crystals and stones. I tend to use the word crystals and semi-precious stones interchangeably, although they are different.
My qualifications are called crystal and gem therapies. So it covers a broad, it covers a broad spectrum, but basically crystals, stones, gems are what we're talking about, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. The Egyptians, Mayans, and the Sumerians all used crystals.
Yep.
The first historical reference to the use of crystals came from the ancient Sumerians, who included crystals in magic formulas. The ancient Egyptians used lapis lazuli, turquoise, carnelian, emerald, and clear quartz.
Indeed.
They are also
I'm holding them up for you.
Are you? Oh, brilliant.
I was when you said lapis lazuli, I was like, oh, there we go. And then you said turquoise.
It's one of my favorites, that one.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? I love it.
That's a lovely energy.
Oh, absolutely, Jack. I had to buy more turquoise jewelry, look.
Oh, brilliant.
Not only the rings, but the bracelets as well.
So the ancient Egyptians used stones primarily for protection and health.
Yeah.
And so did the ancient cultures of Mexico. The ancient Greeks attributed a number of properties to crystals, and many names we use today are of Greek origin.
Yeah.
The word crystal comes from the Greek word for ice. The word amethyst means not intoxicated and was worn as an amulet to prevent both drunkenness and hangovers.
Andy to know.
Definitely need more of that. The hematite comes from their word for blood, because of the red coloration produced when it oxidizes.
Yeah.
Hematite is an iron ore, and the ancient Greeks associated iron with the god Ares, the god of war. Greek soldiers would rub hematite over their bodies before battle to make themselves invincible.
Yay!
And we still use it for protection today.
Yeah, and it's magnetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was showing my little grandson hematite, and they're almost like magnets, basically.
Because of the iron content, the ferrous content.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Jade was highly valued in ancient China. Now, Annie is a qualified crystal healer who offers treatments at a clinic in Stafford. And I will put details of Annie's clinic down below in the show notes if you want to contact her.
Thank you so much, Jack.
I'll tell you, she's absolutely brilliant. I've had a few treatments with her, and she's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, you are lovely.
So, Annie, tell us about the work that you do.
Just the crystals or the whole caboodle?
Well, you talked very briefly about the whole caboodle, and then
okay, so basically I'm a naturopathic therapist. So I do kinesiology, allergy testing, crystal and colour therapy, sound healing, Egyptian Sekhem, Reiki, essences. What else do I do? Oh, massages. I do Hawaiian Lomi Lomi massages. I do aromatherapy massages, reflexology, Indian head massage. What have I missed, Jack? Hopi ear candles.
Yeah.
And I love everything I do. And Jack's right. I'm very good at what I do because I absolutely adore natural medicine. I've got no time for the NHS. And I know that by using natural things, we can help people to reach optimum health, surpass their goals, and show up consistently as the best version of themselves.
Now, Annie's been doing this co-hosting with me for what, about a year and a half?
Yeah, I started last June, darling. So yeah, we should have had a little anniversary party.
We should have done, yeah. Now, the very, very first show we did together, Annie went through the full list of everything that she does at her clinic.
Yeah.
So I'll put a link to that in the description as well, so you can look it up.
Oh, thank you, Jack. That's really kind of you.
I actually love the Sekhem that she does.
Oh, it's scrummy, isn't it?
I absolutely adore that. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think you've had, what have you had so far? Hopies, reflex.
Yeah.
Can't think what else you might have had.
I've sat in your sound healing chair.
Oh, yeah, my harp chair.
Yeah.
Oh, I love my harp chair as well. It is scrummy, isn't it? It's really scrummy.
Oh, the energies that come from that thing, absolutely brilliant.
Just incredible, aren't they? And again,
I mean, the basic principle is the same. We've talked about sound healing, we've talked about color healing. Tonight we're talking about crystal healing. The basic idea is the same. It's resonance.
Yeah.
If you have a resonant, if you have a frequency, whatever that frequency might be, whether it comes from color, whether it comes from sound, whether it comes from crystals.
Yeah.
If you're in close proximity to it, then you start to resonate more on the same wavelength.
Yeah. And I do know as well that although we're talking about natural medicine, I really do think that laughter is a great medicine. You know, we did
Oh,
that
yes.
show on it, didn't we? And
We
when
have.
I'm having a really horrible day, just finding something insane to laugh at really brings my vibration back up again.
It's very rare that I do a show with Annie where we don't end totally lost in giggles over some small thing. We just set each other off, don't we?
We do. I think I can't think what the guy's name is now that did the Pink Panther, but he was famous for corpsing all the other actors. He'd just do something and start the other actors off. And I think we have that effect on each other. I hear your laughter and giggle, or I see you smile and I'm going, I'm not going to smile. I'm not going to giggle at him.
But we always do.
Futile to resist, Jack.
There have been times on this show that the uncontrollable laughter has just gone on so long, I've had to edit some of it out for brevity.
And we don't always know what it is that triggers that laughter, do we? We just get, we just have a funny thought, and then every time we look at each other, it like starts us back off again, doesn't it?
So tell us about your crystal healing.
Okay, so people come for a number of reasons, and often it's for relaxation, but sometimes it's that they're at a crossroads and they just really want some support with looking at their options, basically, which crystals are very good for that. The other thing that crystal healing is especially good for is earthing and grounding, which we've talked about at some length, haven't we?
Yeah,
and I honestly do think that just by earthing and grounding ourselves, I mean, we can't get knocked over by whatever monkey business is going on, basically. So the crystals, I've got a lovely dowser. The lovely Iona bought me this because it looks like a shell. So this is my dowser.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. I'm probably holding it up too high.
Yeah, well, we can see it, yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll get the person to fill in a consultation sheet and have a brief chat about what it is that they need to get out of the crystal and colour therapy. And then I douse from a huge menu of all the different things that their bodies could ask for. And it's been significant for many years that it's really helped people. However skeptical people have been when they first come, they've gone, oh my God, I didn't tell you that. And then I've read the qualities of the particular crystal that, the dowser has said they really need this, or they needed chakras being rebalanced or energized. And it really makes a huge difference, however skeptical people are. But actually, I don't know why people are skeptical, because as you've just said, they're high vibration, Jack. They've got that resonance, haven't they? And they really help us to be the best version of ourselves in mind, body, and spirit, because that's what they're good for, basically. And
I mean, crystals certainly make the best dancing pendulums.
yeah,
they're much more powerful than the wooden ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, I'm going to show people how to douse tonight effectively, because quite often people have tried to douse themselves but haven't tapped themselves in. So I'll come to that later. So when people think that they choose the crystals, and I'm going to throw a spanner in the works, because actually I believe that the crystals are communicating with us and going, hey, Annie Day, I'm going to get your attention so you buy me, because they are resonating with our beautiful energy. So whenever people say, oh, no, I chose this, I'm like, I don't think so.
No.
We know that the crystals choose us, don't we, Jack?
They do, and they also choose when to leave us.
Oh, You've had it with the multivite, haven't you?
I have. This is my second Moldavite.
The
The
little
original
monkey
one,
ran away, didn't
the
it?
original one buggered off, had it on its little toes.
And again, we've talked about this, but I suspect they go where they're needed
I'm sure
for
they
whatever
do.
reason. Because I think you said when you lost your multivite, you started getting to know your amethyst, didn't you? And maybe somebody else needed the multivite basically more than you did at that time. I've
I'm
lost
sure I'm sure somebody's found it. So I'm sure it's made its way to somebody.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's the, what shall I say, the intention of crystals, because they are high vibrational beings for sure.
But crystals don't always travel in the 3 dimensions.
No.
I've told a story on this channel before. My second wife, Chris.
Yeah.
She was in the bath, and I was sitting in the bathroom talking to her. And all of a sudden, there was a plop, and something had landed in the water off one of the shelves. And she put her hand down in the water and fished it out. And she said, "Oh, it's a moss agate." I thought, "Oh, that's nice. It must have fallen off the shelf." And she said, "I've never had a moss agate. There's never been one in the house." So where did that come from?
As I say, I really believe that they're high vibrational beings. I really do. And they've come to my aid so many times. Yeah. And like you, I've lost them so many times. But then, you know, I've gone for a walk in the woods and I've seen a crystal right in front of me. And I have also lost crystals in forests and then thought, oh, well, whoever needed this heart-shaped rose quartz that had fell out my bra obviously needs it more than I do. And then 3 weeks later, I was with my lovely kids and we went for a walk, similar bit of the chase, but not exactly the same bit of the chase. And there it was right in front of us again.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
So I don't know what, it may have been healing the land, it may have been healing plants or trees, but obviously it decided that it would come back to me.
Well, some people say that, I'm not saying this is true. Some people believe that crystals form naturally in the ground, in the places where Mother Earth needs the healing.
Yeah.
What do you think
it would
about
make
that?
sense, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would really make sense, wouldn't it? So usually people buy their crystals from crystal therapy shops. And as I said, we think that we're choosing them, but we're not really, are we? They're choosing us. One of the most important things that I always teach my family, friends, students and patients is cleanse them as soon as you get them home.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know, and I know, Jack, that crystals amplify and magnify energy. So let's say Fred blogs and 100 other people have touched this crystal. You don't want to be taking all that negative energy back home with you. So one of the things I recommend is that you cleanse it as soon as you possibly can. So there are loads of different ways that you can do that. You can flush them with running cold water, except selenite, and what else would people be looking at? And some angelite as well are said to be friable, which sounds a bit bonkers because it's the opposite of frying. But actually they will absorb the water and they'll become mush, won't they? So
they can fall apart in water.
Yeah, easily, can't they? So you can flush most crystals with cold running water. But the other thing that you can do is you can use tinctures, which probably this is not going to pick up, but
oh yeah.
Could you hear some of that? Yeah.
No, but Right, now I'm going to just say, because Zoom somehow it doesn't pick up those sounds. I don't know why. But I'll also put a link below to a very special 20-minute or so show that we did, where Annie was just explaining, just demonstrating all her different all the
sound
different
healing,
instruments.
Jack. Yeah,
Yeah,
darling.
yeah.
So you could use temple bells or ting shards, as they're sometimes called. Oops. You could also use a singing bowl, which again you may not hear.
I don't know why Zoom just won't pick up those sounds.
It's weird, isn't it? We
It
had this
filters them.
trouble, didn't we, with the sound healing?
It filters them out,
Yeah, I don't know
which is
why, but it does. But
which is
luckily, it
why
doesn't filter out us singing, all you need is love. La,
love is
la,
all you
la,
need.
la,
So that's why I visited your clinic and we went through all your
Yeah, that was a
instruments.
brilliant idea, Jack. It really was a brilliant idea. Thank you. So you can, in the absence of temple bells or anything else, I tend to favour sound healing, and then it doesn't matter which crystals I'm cleansing then, but you can just clap over them.
Yeah.
And that will do the same thing as well. You could pass the crystal through the top of the flame, but make sure it's a sizable one. Make sure it's a big one, because we don't want you to be burning your fingers, basically. You could waft incense over your crystals, and that will also cleanse them. You can breathe with intent to cleanse your crystals. So literally, you could just be thinking, I'm cleansing all energies that are attached to this crystal, and that will be sufficient. You could spray with a proprietary brand of crystal cleanser. This is one I've always wanted to do, this, Jack. This is one I made earlier. I've always wanted to say, and this is one I made earlier.
Available from any day.
Indeed. So it's space clearer and crystal cleanser as well.
Made from
Oh my goodness.
Glastonbury,
Made from
Glastonbury water.
Yes, indeed. The Glastonbury Chalice Garden water. Neilshard organic essential oils, and I make all the essences from my local area, basically. So it's all really lovely, congruent stuff done with intention.
Beautiful, beautiful.
You could make up your own spray using a essence, rosemary essential oil, and mineral water in a spray, or to spray all over your crystals. But you can cleanse your aura with it as well. That would be lovely. Expose your crystals to sunlight outdoors or on a windowsill. That really cleanses them, but it also charges them up. They really love that beautiful sun energy, basically. It really has a significant significant effect on them. You can expose your crystals to moonlight, especially at the full moon. I tend not to do that because I've always found that the moon's energy is damp and cold. I know other people love it, so do whatever feels right for you. But I usually do it the day after the full moon, the day after the new moon, in beautiful sunlight. Yay!
Beautiful.
Place crystals outdoors during thunderstorms and other extreme weather conditions because they just love it.
Oh, they soak it up, don't they?
Yeah. So I usually put my giant citrine outside when it's thunder and lightning, and it really, really loves it, basically. Place crystals in the ground, cover with earth, remembering to put a stick and a label above it to ease reclamation. I have a lovely friend who did not listen to that bit and said, oh no, I remember, and then ended up digging up half a garden trying to say, no, I'm sure I put it there. Oh no, maybe I didn't put it there, maybe I put it somewhere else. So
oh, beautiful.
So make sure that if you're going to bury it in the ground, which is where they came from, that you put a, I don't know, plant stick or something saying this is where my rose quartz is or whatever. So space clearing, you can use crystals for space clearing, particularly selenite. If you want to space clear and to really raise the vibration of your home, your work environment, then using either crystal clear quartz points in every corner or selenite in the corners really raises the vibration of the place, basically.
You can do yourself with selenite too.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a lovely energy, isn't it? It really is. You could clap in each corner of your room. Again, that means that you're really cleansing any negativity. You can sing, hum and chant in each corner, and you can sing, hum and chant to your crystals.
Yeah. That came through.
It lets my voice come through, just not my musical instruments. So naughty. So you can place clear quartz crystals in each corner in the center of the room, place sea salt in the corners of every room, and use incense for every corner of the room, because you really want your home but your workplace to be really vibrant and luscious and lovely. So I'm not going to say much more about cleansing.
Sea salt is a wonderful cleanser.
Yeah.
I always like to put, I mean, when I have access to a bath, I like to put some sea salt in the bath.
Yeah, brilliant.
Help cleanse my aura while I'm in there.
Yeah. So those are all the ways of cleansing. And one of the books I'm going to recommend, as well as the Crystal Bible, Judy Hall's an amazing crystal therapist and has really researched it. But you do need to know the name of the crystal if you're going to use the Crystal Bible, because it's alphabetized. Whereas this little beauty is the Essential Crystal Handbook, and it's by Sue and Simon Lilly. And what I love about this is I think I've told you about this previously, but the ends of the pages have got a particular colour on.
Oh, yeah.
So let's say that I bought blue just for a change. Me, Annie Tay, buying turquoise or blue. But basically, it's got everything from, not moss agate, that's green, turquoise, all the way through to Larimar, which is this lovely ring, blue lace agate, celestite, blue quartz, sapphire, lapis lazuli, demeterite, and then Preselli blue and kyanite. So I love this book because if you can't remember what the name of the crystal is, you can just look for the colour on the edge of the pages and then go through all the pages till you find the one that looks like yours. And at that point, Sue and Simon Lilly do give you some bullet points of the magic of each crystal. But then you can look up the longer meaning in Judy Hall's Crystal Bible.
Daily crystal inspiration.
Oh, is it guidance cards, Jack?
Yeah, it's a deck of cards.
Ooh, I like the look of that. I'm particularly addicted to guidance cards.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you can use this every day or whenever you feel that you want to.
Yeah.
If you want to know what crystal you should be working with that day, this will tell you.
Wow. Clever stuff, Jack.
You just ask it. You've got to ask it the question.
Yes, indeed.
What crystal do I need to be working with over the next 24 hours?
Oh, I'm intrigued what you're going to come up with.
Ah, it's telling me I need labradite.
Protection, baby.
Hmm. I wonder what it thinks I need protecting from.
Other people's monkey business, usually.
But anyway, it's something I just like to do whenever I feel.
No, that's really good, Jack.
Whenever I feel in the mood,
Yeah,
and also if I feel that I need a crystal I haven't got,
yeah,
this will tell me which one to buy.
yeah. And the other thing you can do with it is, let's say that this is a clear glass with only water in, rather than it's got rose quartz and clear quartz and lemon slices. But let's say that this is just a glass of water. You could place your crystal card underneath your glass of water, and
Yeah.
again set your intention that the energies will be imbued into this water, basically.
Oh, well, that's Dr. Emoto's stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Oh,
so hooked on his. I have been for about 10 years, but yeah, any excuse to put some healing into water's got to be good for us, because as we know, we're made up of 80% water, aren't we?
and as I said in my introduction, water also has a crystalline structure. Water is
Exactly.
also a crystal,
Exactly that, darling. Exactly that.
and you can charge it just by holding it between your hands. Get the chi moving,
Yeah,
and so you can feel it between your hands, and you can feel
yeah,
it, and then just hold a glass of water and just tell it
yeah,
what you want it to do, and then drink it.
yeah. It is amazing, and little kids love it. That you can change the vibration of the water just by telling it wonderful things. And I think that children just really get it once they know that, they get it really fast, don't they? They really understand that, especially when I've said to them that your body's made out of 80% water. And so if nobody else is telling you that you are loved and that you are beautiful and gorgeous and talented and fantastic, say it to yourself, because that body of water is going to be working on that, basically.
In fact, why would you ever drink water straight from the tap? Even filtered water. Why would you drink it straight from the filter jug when you can hold it in your hands and charge it?
Exactly. And you can spiralize it and do all sorts of funky things with water, can't you? But yeah, stay away from the neurotoxin and carcinogen, not least from the fluoride. But the chlorine isn't in there for our benefit either, is it? So
Oh, no. Hey, I came across something I didn't know before
go on.
yesterday,
Yeah.
that if you put a tub of water outside in the sun, container of water outside in the sun, leave it there for 3 or 4 days, the the chlorine will evaporate out of it.
Oh, that's good to know, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
it will turn to gas and evaporate out of it.
Ooh. Because my new solar powered fairy fountain does actually have tap water in. I tend not to put my lovely Kangen water in. So it may be just by putting the tap water in, and then the fact that it's outside all the time. Oh, Jack,
Yeah.
I'll have to tell Gareth or Ziggy about that.
Just put a mesh over the top so leaves and things don't fall in.
Yeah. Or critters.
Yeah. And just leave it in the sun.
Wow, Jack. Thank you for sharing that. That's very useful, isn't it?
And even better if you can put it in a black container, because that will soak up the heat from the sun and heat the water
Yeah.
and speed up the process.
Yeah. When I did wild camping a few years ago, there was a black kind of square, I don't know, container. that was hung in the tree, and that heated up your water, and then they basically just
solar shower, fantastic.
so you had a lovely warm shower. Yeah, because the black does attract heat, doesn't it, in the sun, basically.
There's nothing better than standing under a solar shower.
Oh,
naked in the woods.
Yeah.
I love that. I've done that so many times. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. It's very, what would I say, liberating, isn't it? Very liberating.
You feel so connected.
Oh, massively. Because we've talked about this, several times. We know we're not meant to be wearing shoes. We know we're not meant to be wearing clothes. We're supposed to be allowing our beautiful bodies to take in all the beautiful vitamin D3.
Yeah.
And we need to be earthing and grounding ourselves with our lovely bare feet, don't we? On the beach or on grass or whatever.
You can't be walking barefoot in the grass either, especially early morning when there's still dew in the grass.
It's so lush, isn't it, Jack? I really, really. The only thing that was one of the things that I missed on this campsite was, because you've seen where my garden is, I literally do 3 steps and I'm on the grass, aren't I?
Yeah.
Whereas it wasn't like that. There were paved areas, so I couldn't really get to the woods as quickly as I wanted to first thing in the morning. But there was a beautiful, magical, it was called the Elemental Forest, so it kind of gives you an idea of what that was like, really. That was just lovely.
What part of the country was it?
It was in Cambridgeshire.
Cambridgeshire, okay.
Yes.
You had to think about that, didn't you?
I wasn't driving, and I just trusted that Rose and Spencer knew what they were up to, basically. So, yeah, it was just absolutely wonderful and amazing, and very synchronistic that I'd seen it on Facebook and said, oh, this sounds, the wild water swimming, the dancing, the singing, everything that was involved in that. And I was like, oh, I so want to go to that. And they said, come with us. We've just booked our tickets. It's like, oh my God, thank you.
You can't beat
gone on my own.
You can't beat skinny dipping in the woods, in a woodland stream.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful feeling.
Lovely, isn't it? Really is. Yeah. Yeah, so that was all just lovely, lovely, lovely. So once you've got your crystals that you've chosen and you've cleansed them, then you can really charge them up, as I've said, with extreme weather conditions, with sunlight, with moonlight, and they just really love it, basically. They just really love it. So the next thing that I would suggest you do is you may want crystals for a particular function. So I thought it would be useful to just tell you how to program it.
Yeah.
Program a crystal. You just need to keep using it for the same thing. So this lovely tear-shaped, or heart-shaped maybe, if I turn it that way around, lapis lazuli, I always use when I'm meditating. So because it's been used so frequently for that function, it kind of knows what it's supposed to be doing for me. But equally, I've helped people to program a particular crystal so that when they go for their interview, or when they've got to do a talk, or, I don't know, a driving test or whatever, that they've got their crystal with them, because the crystal, once it's programmed, will do exactly what you want it to do, because it has an oversoul like we do, basically.
Yeah, of course it does, yeah.
And again, we know this to be true, don't we?
Oh, Tesla said they were living beings.
Yeah. But they are, aren't they? They just really, really are. So if you want to, I don't know, aid your meditation practice, What you can do is select a crystal that's really shouting at you. Could be an amethyst, it could be clear quartz, it could be, I don't know, something like this, clear quartz point. It could be smoky quartz, it could be citrine. It doesn't matter in some respects which crystal you choose, as long as you consistently use it for that function. That's my personal viewpoint on that. But I know that just consistent use of that crystal for, I don't know, to help you with yoga practice or meditation or for protection. If I know that I'm going somewhere where, like, I work in young offenders units about twice a year, and I always make sure that I take Archangel Michael and my guardian angels with me, but I usually have Ruby in my bra, because Ruby stops vampirism of heart energy and blocks psychic attack, because not all people are happy. So it's just a way of making sure that I can deliver the treatments to all the prison officers without me losing any of my lovely life force and heart energy, because I know I've got lovely energy. And my Reiki master, going back many years ago, said every time you go to the prison, it's like all the prison officers have a straw and go, well, have some of that lovely heart energy. I was like, oh, bugger.
I couldn't work in the prison. The energies are so low.
Yeah, but
Such a low vibing place.
I
The
know.
people in there don't want to be there. None of them are happy.
Yeah.
Some of them are aggressive.
Mm.
No, it's not the sort of place I want to go.
Well, you know, my dad's been telling me this since I was about 11, that I always go where angels fear to tread.
You do, don't you?
Nothing,
Yeah.
and nothing stopped really. I've worked in a hospice, I've
Yeah.
worked in prisons, I work in a women's refuge. So I think the universe has just gone, no, we want you to do this, basically. So
If you're going to do that sort of work, you've got to know how to protect yourself psychically.
oh, massively, darling, massively, massively, massively. So yes, if you want to program a crystal, use it consistently for that function. So you've got Labradorite today. So let's say that you're going to program, I'm making this up as I go along, Jack, obviously, but it could be that you always use that when you're going to go, I don't know, to a supermarket, an airport, a train station, a restaurant, pubs, because that's where there's lots of toxic negative energy.
Yeah.
So it could be that every time you go, I don't know, to do your shopping, that you've always got your Labradorite with you.
It's easy for you to say.
I know. With you, because it's going to protect you from any toxins or negative energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And equally for me, my lovely lapis lazuli helps me to stay focused on the meditation and not be going off with the fairies halfway through. As
What do you mean
tempting as
off
that
with the
is.
fairies? You are a fairy.
I am a fairy, but sometimes they lead me off somewhere where I don't think that I can do that and do what I'm here to do and look after people, basically.
You're a mer fairy.
I am a mer fairy. I kind of proved it at this 6-day music festival, because people were going, oh my God, you're such a mer fairy. I was like, yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I know. No, you really are an incarnated. This one man said to me, you are an incarnated mer fairy. And I said, yeah, no. And he said, oh, sorry. I said, no, don't apologise. Don't apologise. I'm just saying, it's very kind of you to say that, but I am perfectly aware of it and have disclosed it on many occasions, basically.
Once or twice.
So you've got your crystals, you've cleansed them, you've programmed the ones that you want for a particular function. And what I would say as well is they're really handy for restoring and harmonizing your chakras, basically.
Yeah.
So whatever else you do or do not buy, make sure that you get some clear quartz, basically, because it's such a great energizer and it's a detoxifier as well. But also you want red crystals for your beautiful root chakra. You want bright orange crystals. So the red that I'm thinking of is that beautiful, rich, ruby, sort of claret colour. So it doesn't matter whether you use garnet or ruby, they would be wonderful for stimulating your root chakra, which is all about safety and security. So your sacral is all about detoxification, and also it's where we receive joy and pleasure. Woo! So carnelian's one of my favourite kind of orangey crystals, and quite often I use amber, although I am aware that amber, literally speaking, is not a crystal. It's
no, it's not.
It's tree sap, isn't it?
Tree sap, yeah.
But I do love it, so sometimes I do put that on because that's what I need. And then a solar plexus, you can't do much better than beautiful citrine. Clearly a tumbled tiny stone, not this absolute giant. It's not going to be helpful to you, is it? Then you can either use green or pink crystals for your heart, because the Eastern and Western system, the green system is what the East says it is for our heart, beautiful green, and the West says it's pink, which is equally helpful. And obviously rose quartz is one of the most prolific crystals on the earth, basically, isn't it? So after rose quartz and whatever green crystal you're going to use for your heart chakra, you'd then be looking for turquoise. Any crystal that is turquoise, like this one, this is Tibetan turquoise, would be especially good for our throat. As you can see, I'm wearing a turquoise scarf. Oh, Jack Carks, that is so beautiful, isn't it?
Isn't that gorgeous, eh?
It does look like a flame, Jack, doesn't it? It looks a flame of love and passion, baby.
Well, I bought that when I was in Glastonbury up to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I actually bought it as a gift for somebody.
Yeah.
And I just decided that, no, I was going to keep it. Just have my name. It was just calling to me, you know.
Yeah.
It wanted to stay with me, so I let it stay with me.
And that's had credence or credibility to me, saying that they choose us. They really do, Jack.
Well, this one chose me.
Yeah, without doubt. This citrine, I went to a warehouse in Stoke-on-Trent to buy blue tourmaline. Did I come back with blue tourmaline?
Nah.
This was right at the back of the shop. I'm just trying to smash it. Not really. Sorry, darling. And this beauty was shouting at me, and the man said, "That's not blue tourmaline." And I went, "No, I know." I know. But I need this. I really need it. So he very kindly did me a deal with it, because he said, no, that definitely chose you, because you just went, there's something down there that I need to look at. And literally this was here with its beautiful stand. So I didn't get my blue tourmaline, but I did get my lovely, like the rose quartz, choosing you, Jack.
Yeah.
It definitely chose me and went, hey, you need this. So yeah. So definitely rose quartz for the heart, definitely citrine for the solar plexus, and then beautiful turquoise for our throats, basically. I've got a new turquoise pendant that forced me to buy it. And all this lovely turquoise jewelry as well.
Yeah.
So Then it's our brow, or sometimes called our third eye, and it's that lovely, it's more that lapis colour really. So that's the colour of our brow, and it will encourage us to trust our intuition basically. And then a purple one we could have to balance our crown chakra. So in the Western mythology, we use purple, but in Eastern esoteric practice we use white crystals basically for the crown chakra, and it is our connection to the divine, the cosmos, God, whatever we refer to, our highest self basically. So that would be my recommendation.
White always seems the right one for me because that contains all the colours.
Yeah, absolutely, darling. Yeah, absolutely. So get yourself, it doesn't matter where you keep your crystals as long as they're safe. So I've got a big stacking system because I'm an advanced crystal and gem therapist and I'm obsessed with crystals. Not least that, you know this as well, Jack. Every time I go to Glastonbury, I come back with a ton of crystals.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
And you do, don't you?
Yeah.
And books from the speaking tree, but I come back with heaps of crystals. And before I've gone, I've thought, you know what? I've got plenty of crystals. I really have got plenty of crystals. But clearly, I need more. Clearly, I need more. So I've got this stacking system that's got drawers in. So, for instance, I've got all my dowsers and wands in the top one. In the next one, I've got all my white and clear quartz and smoky quartz crystals. In the drawer down from that, I've got all my yellow and tan coloured crystals. In the next one down, I've got red ones. Oh, Jack. What a beauty, that selenite. Oh, Jack, how lovely.
That's a gorgeous one. But it's also very useful because I tend to put my other crystals on it when not
because it will cleanse
when
it,
I'm not using them.
Yeah.
Because it's a cleanser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Jack. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So I would recommend having some kind of system because, for instance, if you're going to be doing chakra healing, you need to know where your red, orange, yellow, green, pink, turquoise, indigo, purple or white crystals are. But also, as I said earlier, I'd thoroughly recommend you using clear quartz, which has disappeared now somewhere. Probably when I threw my lovely citrine at it. So once you've done all that, you could, as Jack's already said, use selenite to raise the vibration of your home, basically, can't you? As well as cleansing all your other crystals as well. Citrine never needs cleansing either, and carnelian will cleanse itself and other crystals a bit like selenite, won't it?
It will, yeah.
So if you wanted to ascertain without Jack's lovely guidance card, with or maybe you can all get a pack of the lovely guidance cards. You could douse for, this is not water divining we're talking about, this is dousing with crystals.
Yeah.
So the mistake that people sometimes makes is they don't tap themselves in first. So our beautiful timuses, it is called a timus tap. And just by tapping in a circular motion over your timus, brings all your energy back So you're not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about anything peripherally. You're just thinking about this present moment. So this is one of my favourite crystal doses. But this is my very, very favourite for the goddess. Copper. I've had it for years and years, Jack, and it just, every so often I'll go to get another dose and it will go, what about me? What about me?
You want to show us that a bit closer?
Yeah, sure, Jack.
You're not in the centre. There you go.
Can you see it now?
Yeah. It's lovely, yeah.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? So it's the colour of the goddess as well. So Venus resonates to dark green and also to copper. So it's quite fitting that it belongs to me. And again, I found this in Glastonbury, or rather, no, let me say it as it is.
It found you.
It found me in Glastonbury, Jack. That's what happens. So for you to make a good job of dosing, you need to tap over your timers. So we're tapping like this until you yawn or you sigh, because it brings all your energies back. Once you've done that, we're going to ask, you get your doser and you ask your doser to show you, you say it in a very authoritative voice, show me a no. Now, dosers can only move backwards and forwards or round and round. They can't do athletics as such. They can move backwards and forwards or round and round. So what we're going to do is hold our hand out and say, show me a no. So this is often my no. It's rarely anything else. It's my no. And it goes backwards and forwards. And then I'm going to, again, say very authoritatively, show me a yes. And it will do something different. So this is often my yes, is a circular movement, basically. And it doesn't matter which way round it goes. Sometimes I'm making this happen, obviously, not just intuitively doing it, but I'm making it go the other way. So once you've got a definite yes and a definite no, then what we do to make
Can I just say another way of doing it, the way I was taught, is you ask it a question that you know the answer to.
That's what I'm going to tell you next.
Is my name Jack?
Yeah, exactly.
Is my name Peter?
Yeah.
It'll tell you yes or no.
Yeah. So as a reinforcement, once you definitely know what your yes and no is, you say, is my name, and you say your real name, and it will say, so is my name Annie? Couldn't go any faster if it wanted to, could it? And then we ask a question that we know is a definite no. So I'm going to say, am I a man? Because clearly I'm nothing like a man. I'm a woman.
You're all woman, Annie.
I am all woman, Jack. You're quite right. So am I a man? No, it's saying I'm not a man. So it's really accurate. So as you say, Jack, once you know what your definite yes is and your definite no, then you can ask about anything. You can use your doser to ask what food you need to be consuming, how much water you need to be drinking, what supplements you need to be taking, what colour pants you need to be wearing today.
You know, I've got to wear pants.
Well, you know, sometimes we can't be commando. That's all there is to it. So once you've got
we warned you at the beginning that we laugh about anything.
I know. I think our viewers would be disappointed if we didn't make them laugh when we're talking, really, wouldn't they, Jack? So once you've got that yes or no, then you can actually, you know, discern definitely what you need to be doing, basically. So one of the things I use is I have simple healing layouts.
Yeah.
I can't fit it all on the screen. Shall I move back a bit?
Well, I will. I'll do something in the editing after the show to make that.
Yeah,
clear.
you've got it already. But basically, simple healing layouts are exactly what it says on the tin. They're fast fix healing layouts. So one of the first ones is balancing and calming, which we often need. So for that, you'd have a clear quartz on the top of the crown. You'd have rose quartz at the heart and smoky quartz at your root or in between your feet. The body doesn't really mind which one you do as long as it's that set up. So for the balancing and calming, clear quartz pointing towards the heavens, rose quartz on your beautiful big heart, and then smoky quartz on your root or between your lovely feet. The other simple healing layout is centering and grounding. And for this, you put a smoky quartz. Got a couple of them here. One there and one there. I'm hoping you can see those.
Yep, we can see that well. Yep.
So for the centering and grounding, you have one smoky quartz on your throat and you have one at your root or between your feet. And again, they're fast fixes. Literally, as soon as you put those crystals on, people will sigh or yawn or whatever, but it just gets us back to being really centered and grounded. And then last but not least, we've all been going through traumas, whether they're small or large, and processing lots of stuff within the last 3 years. So this is a really useful one for the days when you feel really disorientated. And as hopeful and as happy as we are most of the time, every so often something will wonk us, won't it, and knock us off balance. So this one is called Feeling Disorientated. And for this, we use clear quartz on top of our crown. And then we use either turquoise or lapis on our third eye. Looks like a big bindi mark. I've never done that before. That's awesome. I got a big bindi mark. So you could either use turquoise or you could use lapis. And then you would use your smoky quartz again to really ground it in, basically. So for feeling disorientated, it's clear quartz pointing towards the heavens, turquoise or lapis on your third eye, and then smoky quartz at your root or your feet, basically. Do you want me to recommend some books?
Yep.
Or do you want, no, I'll tell you what I'll do first. As well as doing all helping with mind, body and spirit healing, these crystal doorways, it's very tatty, this book now. It's Crystal Doorways by Sue and Simon Lilly. And it's just been so well loved. As you can see, it's got sticky notelets and all sorts of things in. I love this because it is a really fast way of getting people beyond what they thought they were capable of. So there's one called Activating My Personal Potential. So with this system, the lovely Sue and Simon Lilly have channeled all the information. So all you need to do is know what colour background. So I use a white sheet, and then it doesn't matter what colour, I've already got it within my white sheet. And then they use crystals and sacred geometry to bring about some really significant healing. So I'd thoroughly recommend Crystal Doorways by Sue and Simon Lilly. And also, where have I put it? This is another of their books. which again is very tatty and battered. It's called Doorways in Time. It has got an ISBN number on the back of it that I can show you. What's wonderful about the Doorways in Time is many of us have had past lives that haven't been, what should we say, particularly happy.
Yeah.
And some past life regressionists put you into a hypnotic state and then regress you back. But it does mean that you're reliving that trauma whilst you're telling the therapist about what you're seeing and doing, which I have had regression done in that way, but this is much kinder. So with this book, all you need to do is check if the person needs any preparatory nets, old vows and promises that need to go before they start, and then I'll show you the pages. So it will have, so this page is England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. And then it's got the Americas, it's got Europe, Greek Peninsula, Italy, Rome, Sicily, blah, 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 blah. Egypt and the Nile Delta, Asia, Tibet, China, the Americas, Australia, and then interestingly, it's got the oceans. And included in that is the Atlantic Ocean and Atlantis, the Pacific Ocean and Lemuria. So all you need to know is which country was the person in, and then it gives you a very good description of what background the person needs. You put lapis lazuli on the third eye to help them to get to that lifetime, and then it's just all cleared out with the particular past life net. So I would thoroughly recommend Doorways in Time. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, another one is The Crystal Keys by Shabdan. Crystals, Devas, and the Keys of Creation. Can you see it now?
Yeah, yeah.
It's really interesting because he talks about divas and fairies, and there's all sorts of things that you can do. And yeah, I just think it's really, really lovely. So it's The Crystal Keys by Shabdan, Crystals, Devas, and the Keys of Creation. And then last but not least, The Book of Crystal Healing by Liz Simpson.
Okay, yeah.
Some of these books you'll be able to get from the library. Some you can buy from World of Books. And if you have a second-hand edition, the cost is minuscule, basically. So that's about it. Lovely, Jack.
Well, thank you very much. Lovely, Annie. It's been fantastic having you back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I missed our Mondays. I missed our radio shows.
Yeah. We were talking earlier, Annie and I, about what date we're going to do these shows, what day of the week. And we can't make up our mind.
Flexible, aren't we?
We have, so some weeks it may be a Monday and some weeks it may be a Tuesday. Yeah. Depending on our commitments.
Indeed. Or our next holiday.
Oh, our next holiday. So please do like, share and subscribe.
Thank you, lovely Jack.
And we'll see you all again next week.
Thank you, lovely Jack. And thank you for not only being my lovely, amazing co-host, and that we've got so many lovely subscribers that love our joint energies, but also all the funky IT magic that you do as well. But make sure it can go on to YouTube. So thank you.
Thank you for that, Annie. Anyone's got anything they particularly want us to cover, just get in touch and we'll do our best to oblige.
Wonderful. Yeah.
See you all next week.
Namaste.
Namaste.